All right, let's do this. What's up, everyone? My name is AJ Wrights Crypto. It is Wednesday, October 16th. Wow. This year, I swear, this year has just flown by. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you being here so early in the show. Crypto Antagonist, Lee F, Kimi Mookie, Crypto Buffalo, 6 a.m. Doug, JC, Crypto Stone, Karen Harris, Jason Owen, Mike Vollmer, Brandon McLean. I am a grogger. His name is I am a grogger. Let's go. I'm one too. And I hope you are too. Become a grogger. Join Grogger Nation. Grogger is an acronym for get rich or get wrecked. That is the tagline around here. And hopefully a lot of us are just going to be getting rich and not be getting wrecked. But man, we got a lot to get into this show. I do want to take a second. I'm not really going to get into it, but I am going through some like personal life stuff right now. There will be the time. There will be a time when I talk about it. It's not right now. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be okay. Everyone is okay. It's just tough right now. It's not easy, and everything will be okay. And we will learn more today. And once I get to a point where I can talk about it, I will gladly talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it just quite yet. So I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. It hasn't, this week kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, and I had a lot more things planned I wanted to do, but you got to be there for the people you love, and that's what's the most important thing. So that's all that matters. All right. So one thing at a time, everybody. All right. So let's get into the markets. I mean, there's so much to talk. I got a lot of news stories today, and I kind of wanted to talk about some of the news going on as it's so important right now. It's election season. You really want to be plugged into this stuff. You really want to know, what's going on. A lot going on with John Deaton and Elizabeth Warren. They had a really heated debate. Altcoin Daily posted it, last night. And wow, the sparks were really flying. Maybe I'll play some of the clip, stuff like that. And of course, guys, Bitcoin, we've been talking about that bull flag ever since I made the October video talking about the beginning of the month a little over 2 weeks ago. And actually, let's start there. I want to start there. Let me pull this tab up. Let's talk about Bitcoin first. Let's talk Bitcoin first before we get into anything else. Because this is really... this is the most important chart that you could. Where's my volume profile? Where's my volume profile? Oh, it just disappeared. The volume profile birds flew in to into my computer and took off. They didn't steal my crypto, but they did change my volume profile, and they made it pink. Oh my god, they made it pink. What the hell is happening? So we are kind of looking at the existence of this bull flag. So let's kind of tell the story here. All right. So everybody can follow along from beginners in crypto, just learning how to read charts, how to decipher charts, to experts. All right. Who've been around for a while. Bitcoin had this nice run up early 2024. Okay. We really enjoyed that. Then Bitcoin hit its 2024 high. Up here around 73,610. For the sake of argument, I will make this line white. Okay. And then it started forming this bull flag formation. Down, up, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. All right. But then something magical happened. To paint the picture, I do love pink, Mr. Mojo Rise. And it is my favorite color. That is straight up. So we are really like on the precipice right now. This is extremely important. But so, basically the idea is to have that 10x conversation, to have that bull run conversation. Bitcoin needs to break out of the bull flag and break its 2024 all-time high. When Bitcoin gets right here, we can have a much different conversation about everything going on in the market. All right. Until then, we have to react to the pattern we're in. All right, that I can't stress how important that is. Something magical happened. Not really in August. We actually kind of had a little trap here for the bears. I would say the bears probably got trapped here going short, and bulls caught back up. We kind of went out of the bull flag, but things will dip out. That's very common. You will see that happen, but ultimately it ends back into the formation. And something special happened right around here. When we finally put in the first higher low in the bull flag in September, We actually touched the flag itself instead of coming down here to lower low again. That would have been structurally really bad. Really bad. All right. So then we kind of started forming, this kind of wedge type pattern. And to be fair, these sometimes do break down. I have seen that, these ascending type wedges like this, but it's also a pattern inside of a pattern. And we really have been, as you notice, as you can see, we kind of have these green lines here zoomed in. We were trying to monitor the previous high, previous low. And these lines were given to the Telegram group to react to be fair. You could have, kind of went long from here, about a 2% trade, nothing crazy, but the idea was there. The idea was there for sure. And I did consider talking to the Tele group, excuse me, late last night. I did post in Telegram group saying, hey, a lot of times in this group, we don't trade Bitcoin. We generally don't trade Bitcoin in this group, but with Bitcoin dominance hitting a 2024 high, we could take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart as well. It might not be a bad time to consider trading Bitcoin given the next couple days here. All right. And let's get into why, because right now we are at the tippy top of the bull flag and the tippy top of this wedge pattern. Bitcoin gets to here. Bitcoin goes up to 69,000. We break structure. Woo! That would be looking really pretty. That would be looking really nice. I'm praying that that's what we see, but we haven't done that yet. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Kind of zooming in on this here. I hate to point it out. I really hate to point it out, but we do kind of have a slight bearish divergence right here. Oscillator scalping down with a lower high as the price puts in a higher high. Okay. Thing number one, we did just print a new red dot on the 2 hour on Market Cipher B, even zoomed in as far as we are on the 2 hour, only showing, the end of September into October. The point of control is all the way down here at 62.1. That means the most amount of volume is right here, 62.1. And like I said last night in the Telegram group, when we zoom out here to the 4 hour and kind of show the volume profile for most of the bull flag, the point of control is a little bit further down. All right. It's at 62.8. You get my point. When we're zoomed in, only showing this much, or when we zoom out and show the whole bull flag, the volume profile is below the current price. That is worth taking into consideration. All right. So now if we really kind of investigate what's happening here, let's really zoom in on the 2 hour chart. I don't like, you see how Bitcoin has these kind of hammer type wicks that wick up, touch the flag, come down, wick up, touch the flag, come down. We just printed a red dot, and this most recent candle, it's kind of hard to see because the ascending triangle is in the way. We really zoom in on that bad boy. You see how it's kind of like ranging that liquidity, and there's a very small body of the candle. That is really not what you want to see. I bet if I turn the dual band strength index, it will be above a 15. Okay, a 14 -3. And on the DBSI, any number 14 or above is a pretty strong degree of certainty. We might have topped. Might. Okay. What we have to do at this point is literally the alarm on the bull flag, which has come very close to going off, depending on how you've drawn the bull flag. My alarm on the bull flag has not gone off. Not yet. Came very close though. Very close. And, we did kind of pop above this ascending pattern, this wedge pattern here, but we are back in it right now. The price is back in it. Like I'm talking right here. So close. With the red dot and the bearish divergent, it's not exactly what I want to see. Kind of zooming into a 12-minute chart here just to kind of get a feel for the most, the past day or so. Let's kind of go like this. So it's for the 14th, the 15th, and today, the 16th. This is kind of what we're looking at. So you certainly could get like the gist of the uptrend, even if you kind of cut some of the fat of it, or even kind of draw it, kind of like this, like that even makes sense because you're getting this touch here, this touch here, and this touch here. All right, we are cutting this out of it when we draw it like that, though. And this isn't like a hard trend line, like a big pattern, like when we zoom out and look at the bull flag. But I like drawing trend lines like this on the smaller time frames. This is a trend line that has basically been respected since very early yesterday morning. And this, I like doing this for a couple reasons. One, because I don't like to guess. I hate guessing. People who guess get wrecked. If you guess, you get wrecked. We know this. You have to react to the market. And what I like to do is put the chart in a position where it has to give me a signal. I want to let the market tell me what to do. Okay. So in situations like this, even on the 12-minute chart, if you're in my Telegram group, you know my 12-minute strategy. That right here, this is what I would like to call a point of intersection. This point of intersection will take place at 3:36 in the morning tomorrow. All right. So at the very latest, if Bitcoin flops and gropes in between the bull flag and this little local trend line, little local uptrend here that we drew, obviously give a lot more stock to the bull flag than this. This is a very local trend line. This is a multi-month trend line. All right. But by 3:30 tomorrow morning, it will either break down or break out. And you can set an alarm here. You can set an alarm on the ascending wedge, and you can set an alarm on the bull flag itself and react to the market. All right. And of course, when an alarm goes off, that doesn't mean jump directly in the trade. Sometimes it does. Sometimes I always like to say, look at the confluence checklist. What is the rest of your indicators telling you? What is the story we're trying to paint here? So that is what I would look at here locally. I think the 2-hour red dot, I think even if we kind of do something like, even if we maybe come down, get this liquidity here, or even if we look at, this low that we printed here, pretty clear, type of SR level down there, this level here would be 65.2. I wouldn't be surprised, if maybe Bitcoin kind of comes down here, tests this level and comes back up, maybe fights for the top again, possible. But, right here, right now, I will certainly be reacting to one of these two alarms. And if it does break down, the level that I'm looking for is really this little high right here at 66.4 and this low right here at 65.2. Set alarms on those levels, or if we're going too short, go from here and target here, or go from here and target here. That's how I would handle this in the event the bottom alarm goes off. So I wanted to give you a little bit more details on how to approach that trade if you do want to get involved. And of course, I do need to make a new graphic. I'm aware of that, but I got some shit going on. I haven't had time to do it, but this is one of the most recent graphics I made for the group a couple weeks ago. We've been doing very well trading in the group. Make sure you send us an email, ajalphagroup@gmail.com. Yes, it is a paid group, but it is one of the best you will find in crypto. I have been in everyone's, and I mean everyone's Telegram group. I know what they're doing. And I made the group that I wish I found when I was really starting to get into trading. So, yeah, and shout out to everybody else who's grinding. You know what I mean? That's what's up. That's really where it all started. And shout out to my guy CryptoFace. Had a nice conversation with CryptoFace when we were leaving Whole Foods on Sunday. And hey, man, CryptoFace and I, man, we just talk, dude. We'll talk for 45 minutes, an hour sometimes, and just shoot the shit. And a big shout out to him. Big shout out to Market Cypher. I really appreciate CryptoFace and Market Cypher sponsoring this channel. And we're going to be doing more content together at least once a month. And, maybe do some spaces and stuff like that. But we do plan on hopefully recording something tomorrow or Friday. So big shout out to CryptoFace, and smash the like buttons if you want to see more content like that. I do have interview. I actually filmed it last week, but it's coming out today with Jacob Burgess, however he wants to say that fucking last name. He's in the chat a lot of the time. He is, he's been a grogger from day one. He's a really smart kid. He is working with a Web3 game called Ascent Rivals, who David from Crypto Chips, his brother Michael, is behind Ascent Rivals, and it's not really directly talking about that project. It's kind of talking about the overall health of Web3 gaming. Should you be buying metaverse or gaming coins right now with the RWA AI, narratives, in crypto? Is it a waste of time to be buying Web3 games, coins right now? That is kind of the conversation we have on that. Definitely check out that video. It's a good interview. I wouldn't put it out if I didn't like it. And yeah. So hold on, let me. Hey, what's wrong with Whole Foods, bro? Whole Foods rocks. Whole Foods is the best. Oh man. Woof woof. Noobs always say weird things. Of course, AJ is a noob and has done just that. Okay, yeah. Well, I made $1 million this year, and you're woof woofing in my chat. It's probably just Nick Demondi's 4th account. Get the f out of here. You're out of here. People are hilarious, man. They just can't stand watching someone else win. They just can't stand it. That must really that stinks. Stings bad. Oh yeah, I actually have a pretty cool story on XRP too. Couple stories. 6 a.m. Doug, I can't kick Wolf. I not got the wrench. You know what? I think 6 a.m. Doug, he's been around for a while. 6 a.m. Doug, you get a wrench. You get a wrench, and you get a wrench. Everybody gets a wrench. I'm the mod Oprah. Doug's been around here for a while. He earned his wrench. Good job, Doug. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here all this time. Anointed One said the hoodie is dope. Hey, thanks, man. I do appreciate it. He said only 5 years. All right, let's get into the rest of the show. I get distracted, man. I get distracted big time. All right. All right, so let's just go quick overview of the markets. We'll hop into some news stories, and I do want to talk about some charts. I have a handful of trades that I've been following, a handful of trades we've been following on the channel. I do want to get into them, but first we're going to do an overview of the market. We're going to look at some news. We're going to get into all that. I want to give a shout out to everybody watching the show. Got over 130 people watching on YouTube. Thank you much all for being here. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps. And over 240 people on X. Thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I have been dual streaming lately because why not? And Elon has been really trying to, but Elon's goal is to make YouTube the standard for streaming. He wants to outdo YouTube. And I'm a big fan of Elon, a big fan of everything he's done. I have a Cybertruck, for crying out loud, big Tesla fan. And I'm going to, even if the stream does better here or there or whatever, it doesn't hurt doing both. Why not? Why not? Okay. Overview of the markets. Bitcoin, we just talked about it currently. Let's get a fresh refresh here so we got exactly the right prices. 67.6. We got 2,600 Ethereum, 596 BNB, Solana 154, XRP 54.7. Not bad. Avalanche, man, I'm telling you guys, Avalanche is down a little bit right now, but I'm telling you, Avalanche is going to. I honestly am saying, in the top 15 coins on coin market cap, even if you count the stable coins. All right, let's really talk about this. What coins here have the potential to really put numbers on the board? All right. I mean, if you're going for long-term wealth, long-term stuff, obviously I think Bitcoin's probably going to win. This whole time from 2022 to now, Bitcoin, unless you bought SWI very early, Bitcoin was the best call. And that always happens in bear markets. That's super common. Bitcoin dominance runs the show. Bitcoin is still flying the entire torch for crypto. That's no secret. But really, guys, Bitcoin's market cap's 1.3 trillion with a T. Trillion. All right. Do you really think that this 1.3 trillion, you think that can 10x? I don't think there's enough money in the world right now for Bitcoin to 10x this run. All right. Even when you get to Ethereum, 314 million, BNB, billion, 314 billion, BNB, 86 billion, Solana, 72 billion. How far can all of these really go? I think if you are big money person, big millions and millions of dollars, you need to be hedged up. with large market cap picks because you're playing a game of protection. You're trying to protect your money. All right. You're not going to play it the same as someone who only has $20,000 to their name, who really needs to hit the ball out of the park. Two completely different strategies. All right. And when you look at the top 15, I think Dogecoin is probably going to do really well. I'm not taking anything away from Solana or XRP, but I really think out of the top 15, Avalanche is probably going to be the winner. That's just how I see it. They got a lot going on, and they really hit it out of the park with Off the Grid. They're doing a summit in Latin America right now in Argentina. Jada and I were invited. Unfortunately, we were not. I just didn't have the time to go. I wanted to go, but I didn't have the time. I traveled way too much this year. And it's been it as much as fun as it is, and the connections I've made and the sponsors I've made along the way. Every time I go to a conference, I get a new sponsor, and that's great. But like, I got to reel it in. And shout out to Avalanche. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for approving me. They were going to fly us out and put us up in Argentina for free. And but we had to say no. But we will do the next one. And I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to, checking out. There was a point in time where I kind of had a beef with the developer at Avalanche. He was kind of a jerk to me in New York for no reason. I don't even know if he's on the team anymore, but one person does not define an entire team. But I really think Avalanche out of the top 15 is a rock solid pick. But you're talking, you want to get the gains, right? You really have to look at the difference in market cap. I mean, look, if you go from Avalanche, 11 billion, right? If this went to 100 billion, that doesn't seem that far-fetched, does it? You know what I mean? But really, when you scroll down just a little bit, Sui at 203, one of the biggest crypto winner of the year, 25 by market cap counting stablecoins. We're talking a $5 billion market cap. That could easily go to 25, 35, 45, 50 billion. No problem. Because it's still at that point where it can multiply. And that's what people really miss who are way too heavy in the top 15 coins. If 50% of your portfolio is Cardano, XRP, Solana, Bitcoin, you're either a millionaire playing a safe portfolio, which is fine. But if you are someone with less than $20,000, you need to align your your coin selection with the market cap, your coin selection market cap of the goals you have. You need things that are able to multiply. All right. BitTensor, another one I really like. FET, another one I've been targeting for sure. I think FET, we could talk about the FET chart in a little bit. And then that's when we really kind of start to get down the list, man. Optimism is still 2.1 billion. That's a big flag for me. I didn't always like Optimism, and to be honest, I hate Optimism's tokenomics. I really do. 1.2 billion out of 4.2 billion. Not going to get into how fast that's all coming in, but I do think hold it for a year, sell this time next year. Optimism's probably not a bad play, and I can talk about why. And then that's really where we start to get outside the top 50, where Render's at the top 50, $2.1 billion market cap, Phantom, 2 billion. And then here we go. Phantom, Hedera, VeChain, these three picks right here. Phantom, Hedera, VeChain, three of my favorite picks in crypto, to be honest. 2 billion, 1.8 billion. And then, the Graph, 1.6 billion. Pyth, 1.2 billion. Pyth's going to be a big winner. Popcat, a coin I started talking about in June at like 30 cents, still 1.2 billion. Arweave, if you're into storage coins, 1.2 billion. Jupiter, probably going to do good on Solana. Algorand, Algorand's a $1 billion coin, guys. Algorand's $1 billion, and it is crazy to see how far Polygon Matic has fallen from grace here. Jeez, it's down to 84. That is crazy. And then even, Jasmine outside of the $1 billion mat. And I'm just kind of going over this because I really want to say the coins out loud that I'm targeting and say why I'm targeting them, because you're really searching for the multiplier effect. What, if Bitcoin went from 1.3 trillion dollars to 2.6 trillion dollars, that's a significant amount of money. That's most people don't even know what a trillion is. If you really think about it, trillions a lot. But it doesn't hurt me too bad to see Jasmy go from less than 1 billion to 5 billion, or Algorand go from 1 billion to 12. That doesn't seem that far-fetched, does it? Exactly. All right. Going to take a peek at the gainers and the losers. I believe Dogecoin is running the show here. Very good. We put a Doge setup in the Telegram group like last week, man. It was at like 10 cents. There was a really good level there. I hope some of you nailed that trade. I always have peripherally paid attention to Dogecoin. Have I always held it? No. But have I been buying a little bit? And Shiba, I've bought both of them. I think they're going to do good this run, but they're also really good coins to trade because they're meme coins. They're sexy. They always have liquidity. And anytime you can find any project that has that type of attention, that's the coins that get that type of liquidity. All right. And that liquidity is really what you need when you're day trading. Bonk up. Yeah, they kind of, got some meme coins running the show here. Pyth up 4%. Litecoin. Hey, Litecoin's waking up 5.9%. And then, hey, Bitcoin 67. I love to see it. But then also we do have some altcoins leading out a little bit. And guys, that makes complete sense. Popcat, Notcoin, BitTensor, Aptos, Dogwif, Sui, all of these coins, kind of down, 5, 7, 3%, stuff like that. Well, they all had a really strong run up. So they're all just kind of bleeding out and basically retesting levels at the moment for sure. And guys, I'm not going to get too far into this, but this is something that I pointed out not long ago. Sui here, guys, look at the Ganfan setup here. Literally came right to the top of that Gan at 234. Excuse me, not me. Let me draw this line across. 237. Excuse me, right here. That's not going to be easy to break. I mean, we're talking a daily chart. Big time bearish divergence. We're really going to be searching for, what levels can this thing find a way to hold. Right now, it is above this previous top from back here. It's just above that level. That level is at 197. Right now, it's at 203. That would certainly be a level to react to. And even, some of these levels down here, even this one right here, this makes a lot of sense too. At 170, certainly some levels to look at if this is going to be a rejection from the 1-1 on the Ganfan. This is something we talked about in the Telegram group. Wouldn't be that surprised to see Sui kind of collect its feet for a little while. I mean, anytime something, guys, come on. Sui pumped from August 7th to October 13th about 400% in 67 days. It has to catch its breath. It just has to. All right. Let's start getting into stories here. I haven't checked the chat in a second. Let me check out the chat for a minute. Certainly I've seen some numbers pick up. Over 180 people on YouTube now. Hey, thanks for being here. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. 250 people on Twitter. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. Sweet Diddy, he says in the chat. I don't really consider if SHIB will go to a penny. I don't really ever look at things like that. I just kind of look at at market cap. Like, you know what I mean? I don't ever, it doesn't that's like saying, do you think Bitcoin could go to $1 million this run? Like, I don't look at it like that. I kind of go level by level, if that makes sense. Yeah. I've never been big on that kind of thinking. It is good for titles for the videos though. That's for sure. Wish I had more AVAX. Me too. There's, AVAX is definitely a good project. 6 a.m. Doug says AJ and I both got Teslas this year. Very nice, Doug. New mod, repping the Tesla. He knows what he's doing. Leaf, how about the total 3 chart? Okay. Let's do the total 3 chart and then we'll hit some news. Lee F with the suggestion. Good idea. All right, total 3. Ooh, okay. So total 3. All right, so let's just tell this for any beginners here. The total chart is all of Bitcoin's market cap added together. Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, stable coins are included in the total charts. Everything added together, the total chart. The total 2 chart is everything minus Bitcoin And the total 3 chart is everything minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because actually, if you go to, you know, the list here on CoinMarketCap, I haven't done this math in a while, but if you go to Ethereum, right, and you add up the market caps of all the coins underneath Ethereum without counting the stable coins, I mean, last time I added it up, Ethereum was bigger than the 70 coins below it added together. So you do have to really consider like the total 3 chart for when you're specifically looking at altcoins, because Bitcoin and Ethereum are leagues away from everything else. I mean, Ethereum is over $200 billion bigger than BNB. All right. And that's what I mean. Like, looking at total 3 is certainly a chart you need to consider when you're talking altcoins, because you want to get the entire pulse. Certainly you can look at individual charts, no problem, you know, but when you want to get a feel for what everything is doing, and you don't want like the outlier, because like the total chart is skewed by Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right. So if you're really just trying to get the pulse on the altcoins themselves, you want to look at the total 3, because it does not include Bitcoin. It does not include Ethereum. But like I said, all of the total charts do include stable coins. All right. So this one, just like the rest of the crypto market, you know, from the beginning of 24 here, let's try to find close to New Year's Eve as we can, right in here somewhere. All right. It did have a nice rise up, you know, 50, 58, 57%, 56% in 74 days from January 1st to March 15th. All right. And then we had the sell in March. I don't know what rhymes with that right now. And then we've been in just a basic downtrend. All right. And then we did kind of have some big support resistance levels kind of planted in here. And look at where we are now. And this level, I would say, is a very big SR, is at 632.6 billion would be this support resistance level right here. All right. So certainly I will leave that circle there and delete this so you can keep an eye on that line as we zoom in here. If I can get rid of this. Okay. So we did momentarily kind of break out of this. But the most important thing here is that anytime you break out of a pattern, you want to ensure that you're beating levels, you're beating support resistance levels too. And I would say, you know, this high here, I have to move the number. So this number represents this line. All right. Okay. And then, so this wick here, right here, and then the high here. So when we broke this out of this, we didn't put in a higher high, because if you break out of a pattern, you still structurally want to higher high, higher low to form a new uptrend. All right. And we did not do that. We did get out of the pattern momentarily, and then we put in a higher high. We put in this high here, and then we put in a lower high here. So structurally, that's not exactly what we're looking for. But I will say, back in the beginning of September, if a lot of you from the Telegram group that were in the Telegram group will remember, we did talk easily called the move up in September, because we broke out of this sharp downtrend right here. You see that alarm that I have right there? Yeah, we called some of the move up in September because of the break of that trend line. Because anytime things move sharp like this, you just got to, like, here's the chart, right? You just want to watch that trend line, because when it breaks that sharp move, it's likely to give some of that back, and sometimes that turns into a run. And that is certainly what happened when we broke right here. That was a really good call from the group. Even though it came from the total 3 chart, it still gave a lot of people insight on what was about to happen with altcoins. All right, so let's kind of do some of the math here. All right, so what I want to do, even if we consider this wick, that does make a lot of sense. If we're drawing the line on the wicks on this kind of new uptrend forming on the total 3, you could certainly keep that in mind. And or even if you wanted to, you know, kind of draw something like this, kind of a little wedge forming, that would make a lot of sense. But it doesn't really make sense to come down this way, because we have broken above this channel. We are above the previous downtrend, which is really good. That's really, really good. But guys, this level over here, 632.6 billion, which is represented by this line right here, that level, really getting above this high That level is really important, and so is 663 billion and 632 billion. Those are the big levels we really want to watch. And we are kind of coming up in the money flow, up in the momentum oscillator. We are kind of curving out on the RSI a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a little push down and maybe a bounce off of like the inverse mirror or, this yellow uptrend right here. But the big takeaway from this right now is that this did get rejected. That's very clear on the daily chart. This did get rejected. We could certainly feel that if this alarm goes off at 632.6 billion, if this alarm goes off to the upside, we could expect more bullish momentum for all of altcoins. And if this uptrend alarm goes off, we can expect to short altcoins. And guess what? The point of intersection on this is November 12th. So by November 12th, less than a month away, we will break down or break out. And that's why forming these patterns like this and defining where is the point of intersection, that is so important, because it will do this or this by this date. That's how you can force yourself to react to the market. All right. So certainly pay attention to total 3. There's a lot to look at here. I could talk about this chart for a lot longer, but I feel like you guys got the gist. You want to copy this pattern. You want to set an alarm at 632.6 billion, and you want to set alarms at 651.2 and 664.1 or 663 point right here from this top, that top. That's what you want. All right. Let's get into the news. Damn, I've been talking about everything but the news for the longest time. All right. I will say poly market odds are showing Trump expanding the lead over Harris in the swing state. And, I did have an interesting conversation on a Mario space last week. And basically, I don't really know how much stock I want to put into prediction markets such as Polygon being an accurate representation of the true pulse on. First of all, I don't trust polls, period. We always got to talk sample size, and we have to talk the demographic of the sample itself. With Polymarket, you have to use a VPN to use it. So you're talking about either tech savvy people in America or people who are outside of American betting on this. Is there a lot of money bet on Polymarket? Yes, there is, and it's great to see. But we're talking about a very specific sample size of people that will participate in something like Polymarket, if you get my point. All right. And I think I would in the same breath, I would trust this more than normal polls. I think normal polls are skewed, period. But I don't give too much stock to this stuff, really. And guys, we have to be honest, with the border and everything. Do you think Biden and Harris changed the Trump's border laws right when they got into the administration? Do you think they did that so people wouldn't come in? You know what I mean? They need those people to come in so they can give them money in exchange for voting for me. You know what I mean? So I think there are elements that are working against Trump, unfortunately. And I am wearing a MAGA hat, and this MAGA hat is not because Donald Trump's my best friend. Donald Trump's not my boy. Would I drink a beer with him? I don't drink beer, but I drink a beer with him. But my point here is that I wear the hat that I'm wearing because I want to see crypto as an industry continue through my life, through my kids' life, my grandkids' life. I want to see this space continue. It has nothing to do with bags go up, pump my money. I already have money. All right. I don't care if it, you know what I mean? That's not the point. The point is that Trump made a promise on my birthday. It was on my birthday at Bitcoin Nashville when I saw Trump speak, and he's going to fire Gary Gensler. He's going to make pro-crypto regulation. He's way more open-minded. Hell, he's done NFT drops himself. 2 of them, may I add. He's starting its own coin, which failed its stress test, by the way. That's another story. But my point here is that it has a lot less to do with I can't defend everything he's ever said. I don't really give a shit. He says dumb shit. So do I. Whatever. But you get my point, man. You get my point. I want to see crypto as an industry continue to grow and stop being suppressed by the people who are, terrified about the legacy system. And I mean, it's not like Harris and Biden. I mean, basically, if you want more of the same, vote for Kamala Harris. If you want, and the past 3 and change with the Biden administration. They're doing so good, right? Really? Well, the U.S. bankruptcy filing surged to the highest rate since the pandemic. Great job, everyone. Great job. And it kills me, man. It absolutely kills me, driving down the road in Salt Lake City, how many homeless people there were. In my own town here in Georgia, how many homeless people there are, man. It breaks my heart, dude. It breaks my heart. And the fact that we are giving billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to different countries and not even focusing on our own streets, dude, it makes me so mad, bro. It pisses me off beyond insanity. All right. Couple other stories I want to talk about here. Which one should I do first? All right, I'm going to do this one first. Elizabeth Warren and John Deaton. Oh man, juicy. They really got into it, and Warren and Deaton hung her out to dry over the anti-crypto army. He really was just like, why don't you fight inflation as hard as you fight crypto? Basically going in about his childhood and our victims, and man, they were really throwing some blows. It was pretty intense, to be honest with you. I don't know if anybody saw this. Basically, she was just saying, what's the ROI? Like, if you have crypto. Warren right here. Warren fired back, claiming that 90% of the funds backing Deaton's campaign come from the crypto industry. Hell yeah, because we want you out. Warren, it has very little to do with we want John in, and has more to do with we want you out. Get that right, first of all. She argued that these supporters would expect a return on investment if Deaton wins the Senate seat. Of course, the return on the investment is you're out, and you're going to stop suppressing crypto. Deaton didn't directly deny this, of course not, but he did say that he often clashes with the crypto industry, having disagreements with several crypto billionaires. And guys, it's not... There are some stories that broke in the past little while that confused the hell out of me, but it actually makes complete sense when you think about it. And what do I mean by that? That story that I'm talking about is this one right here. Why is the Ripple co-founder, Chris Larson, backing Kamala Harris despite criticism? Let's get this straight, Chris Larson. Trump is going to boot Gary Gensler day one. Gary Gensler, aka your enemy. Straight up. All right. The last day to file the appeal. The SEC filed the appeal against you. We know that the Kamala administration is just more of the same of what's happened since Biden came into office. It's just going to be more of the same. And she's going to say how she's done all these things. Well, why didn't you do any of those things? Exactly. All right. And now Chris Larson from Ripple, of all places, the company that has been billions of dollars in lawyer fees and all the shit with the SEC, is backing Kamala Harris. Wow. Do you know why? He's pulling an SBF, not as in like an FTX, but an SBF as in cuddling up to the politicians to play nice. Hey, come on, Kamala. Come on, baby. Come on. I'll give you some money. If you stop this shit, if you let me fly through here, come on now. Come on. That's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing. Why would you give money to the more of the same administration? You could give money to Donald Trump and he'll get Gary Gensler the hell out of the SEC and y'all can go about your merry selves. But no, he's cuddling up with the enemy on purpose. That's kind of a baller move, Chris Larson, to be honest. I hate it, but I think it's a boss move at the same time. He's playing 3D chess over here, guys. He's playing 3D chess. And of course a lot of people are pissed, a lot of criticism. He's obviously, Chris Larson's extremely pro crypto. Although here, this is funny. Although the government's crypto policies have been met with controversy, Larson only recently donated 1 million of XRP to Future Forward, a political action committee backing Kamala Harris. This is a significant contribution. This significant contribution underscores his continued faith in Harris's ability to drive tech-centric policies. This donation is only the latest in a series of financial contributions Larson has given to other Democratic candidacies in recent years. I don't know. Like, I mean, is this just virtue signaling? Like, is this just like, you know, telling people he's not racist? Like, what is this? Like, you know, like, I can't believe this. And like I said, guys, he's cuddling with the enemy. And it's funny, like Brad Garlinghouse, you know, he's been very vocal against the SEC. And like, we really can't deny the fact that, you know, Gary Gensler is basically Elizabeth Warren's puppet. You know, I've done a lot of research on that relationship, and basically she'll mention something and then Gary will put it into motion like a month or two later. Ben and I did a handful of videos on that very thing, you know, back in the old days. And man, yeah. And then this is just, I can't believe this. Harris's crypto policy could shape U.S. regulation. Guys, remember when she said what she said like 2 weeks ago and she didn't actually say the word crypto? She didn't even say the word crypto, but this guy, I can't. And Deaton mentions this actually. If you watch this bit here, it is 8 minutes long, so I'm not going to play it, but I will. Oh, let me copy. Oops, let me do that. Copy. Oh, I have to do it from here. Where's my notepad? Because my chat's on this computer. Altcoin Daily. Copy, and I'll paste this into the chat. Definitely watch this bit from oh, it won't let me put it in the chat. All right, it won't let me put it in the chat, but this Altcoin Daily, Elizabeth Warren versus John Deaton on Twitter, head over to their Twitter and watch this. I mean, I can play some of it. I don't even know if you guys are going to hear that. I might not have it set up for that, but dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. They go back and forth like insane, and I really like John Deaton, man. He's super like, the way he talks is super Boston, and like how he like references the hood and like his mom and being like, he says a really like relatable story. And I like it. I like his swag. Like, I think that for me, I like John Deaton, but for me, it's more about no war. It's like, you know, I think how people are voting for Harris because they don't want Trump. That's how I feel about why I would like to see John Deaton. So if you live in the great state of Massachusetts and you're one of the 500 people watching this show across 2 platforms, for the love of God, please vote for John Deaton and smash the like button. All right, let's go. Let's continue. And I just want to flash this. I just want to flash the story on the screen one more time. Oh, great job, everybody. U.S. bankruptcy filings surged to the highest rate since the pandemic. Great job, everybody. Wow. America. RWA tokenization sector poised for explosive 50x growth by 2030, research predicts. Kind of just a regurgitation story of the Boston Consultant Group study that does not mention the Boston Consultant Group. I think this website's just kind of cranking out highlights, but I did just kind of want to zone back in on, guys, why I think the RWA narrative is so important, why the RWA narrative is just the biggest deal. The tokenization of everything has begun. Think we live in a digital world. Most high school kids, unfortunately, have bigger relationships and spend more time in their online worlds than they're in their real life world. And that, unfortunately, is becoming a norm. This shift has made content creation possible for people like myself. But at the same time, it's like, guys, my point here is everything is becoming digital and money is going to shift completely. I don't know even how long cash will be around at this point. And blockchains are way more optimal than the normal system going on. And we are going to see the RWA market completely just melt faces. And I just wanted to point this headline out. It's something we've talked about before, but I see it pop up time and time again. And I just want to remind you guys that it's very important that I really hate when people are like, would you rather buy Algorand or HBAR, bro? I'm like, I'd like to buy both, because the point is to diversify. And the point is that last cycle, it was very clear, hindsight 2020, which narratives were the strategic narratives last bull run. All right. Now, looking into this bull run, I would say the two big winners, big winners, is AI and RWAs. And you want to be diversified and have picks that are AI and picks that are RWAs. Okay. And you know what they are. I know what they are, but you want to make sure you have a nice spread, diversified spread of strategic narrative projects. All right. I mean, there are a lot of coins going to try to grab the RWA crown, and it makes sense. Of course they are. Of course they are. And then there are some coins really trying to open up and add things, like to splash AI into their narrative. Algorand is extending. They're an RWA project, but they're also extending and splashing into AI. Why? Because it's strategic narrative. Of course they would. Of course they would. Then we have projects like in the AI narrative, like BitTensor or FET or the Graph. Very important. Projects in RWAs like Ondo, VeChain, Algorand, HBAR, Proppy, stuff like that. These are projects you really need to keep your eyes peeled for. These are the winners, guys. These are the winners. Not another winner that I've been talking about on this channel a little bit recently is optimism. Look at this. Base becomes largest Ethereum rollup by total value locked, surpassing Arbitrum. What? Oh, man. That is pretty ridiculous. Base has become Ethereum's largest layer 2 rollup in terms of TVL with 2.49 billion in total deposits. Overall, it's now among the top 5 blockchains by total value locked, behind Ethereum, Tron, Solana, and BNB. It has certainly made some progress. A large portion of Base's TVL comes from the decentralized exchange Aerodrome, which accounts for over 1.3 in deposits. And guys, AERO, certainly a project that you want to think about having at least a little bit of exposure to. I did splash this project in the portfolio I was building, still building with Jada, and I bought it at the wrong time, but I never sold it, and that's why. And it's going to continue to do well. And if you've been waiting for a portfolio update, we will do more of them. I wanted to build a much larger money portfolio, and honestly, I've been putting it off for 3 weeks. Because I'm trying. It's a big buy. I've been kind of going back and forth between 100,000 or 500,000 live publicly, clicking the buttons on the screen in front of you guys. And I am playing a bit of timing, and I might have been a little bit too impatient. Maybe instead of doing, instead of 100 down all at once, maybe go like 25,000 for 4 weeks, or 50-50 over 2 weeks. I don't know. I've been kind of debating with myself on what to do. And to be fair, I haven't missed much. Yeah, I still feel like even if you just got into crypto yesterday or today, you are still early to the party, very much so. You didn't. If you look at a lot of the charts, they're still far below 2024 highs. Yeah, sure. You missed SWI, but you missed BitTensor. But other than that, like, there are still so many projects that are so far from their highs this year. They're a double up away to get back to where they were in March, and then they're going to break an enterprise discovery from there. So we still got a long, healthy, fun road ahead of us. A lot of gains to be made. And even if you're just starting with crypto right now, or you're building a brand new portfolio like I'm going to do on this channel right now, you're not too late to the party. I promise. All right. But yeah, man, this is really good news. I think Base has been making some pretty serious strides here. Base functions as an optimistic rollup utilizing the OP stack. This is a layer 2 solution. This layer 2 solution processes transactions off the main Ethereum blockchain and periodically commits data back to it. All right. So there's a lot going on there. Rapid growth. Really good to see. Keep your eye on that. I think AERO and Optimism, certainly 2 picks that you don't want to sleep on. And last, actually, there's 2. I'll go through this fast. Bitcoin's price will rise stupendously as Middle East conflict intensifies, says author Hayes. Bitcoin and crypto will rise as energy prices spike higher. And then he's saying he wrote, if the conflict in the Middle East causes energy prices to rise, that does check out. BitMEX founder Arthur Hayes on Wednesday predicted a sharp rise in Bitcoin as geopolitical conflicts escalate, driving inflation and increased government spending. In a blog post, he argued that the U.S.'s government financial response to conflicts in the Middle East would spur money printing and fuel the next Bitcoin bull run for price. Here's a quote. We know that war is inflationary. We understand that the U.S. government must borrow money to sell bombs to Israel. Hayes wrote, we know that the Fed and the U.S. commercial banking system will buy this debt by printing money and growing their balance sheets. Therefore, we know that Bitcoin will rise stupendously in fiat terms. I've always said fiat wrong. I think Wi-Fi, fiat, terms as the war intensifies. So this paragraph right here is certainly the true. And that's straight up. We know, let me read it again. We know that war is inflationary. We understand that the U.S. government must borrow money to sell bombs to Israel. We know that the Fed and the U.S. commercial banking system will buy this debt by printing money and growing their balance sheet. We know Bitcoin will rise stupendously as the war intensifies. Guys, that's it. That's it. Not to mention, like I said, we finally had our first interest last FOMC meetings for the first time since March of 2020. We are not the only country entering a phase of quantitative easing. China, stimulus package, interest slashes. Japan, same thing. Other countries in Europe, same thing. The world is entering a phase of quantitative easing. And if you follow the M2 money supply and line that chart up with Bitcoin, it is funny how when the money supply goes up, Bitcoin goes up. And if you pair the timing of the Bitcoin halving, which is always aligned with the timing of the election, imagine that, that was planned pretty good. And then you pair that with everyone entering a phase of quantitative easing and conflicts being involved as well, they're going to have to print money. They're going to have to print money, and printing money, as much as inflation sucks, as much as it's a harsh reality, at least the Bitcoiners will make plenty of money off of everyone else's mistakes, to put it normally. So I'm not doing rate your portfolio today. I will do rate your portfolio tomorrow. I was not able to stream yesterday, unfortunately. AJ, how tall are you? I'm about 6'2". About 6'2". Like I'm talking like that much under 6'2", but I say 6'2", and I'm wearing my UGG boots. I'm 6'2" right now. I always liked Arthur Hayes on takes on the state of the global economy. Hey man, that's hard to argue. That's hard to argue for sure. GRT Fet Ondo, got it. Good. That's a good takeaway, JC. I'm not hating that at all. Not hating that at all. Mass holes will still vote for her. They are brainwashed. I don't know, man. I think people in Massachusetts are getting fed up. I really think they are. I lived in Connecticut for a couple of years, and I'd go to Massachusetts a couple times, and I spent some time in Boston, had some friends there and stuff. And man, I like Massachusetts. I think it's a nice place. I think the winter time there sucks. I mean, it's October 16th, and it's the first day I didn't wear a white boy summer outfit. Like seriously, I looked at my weather app this morning when I rolled out of bed, and it was 39 degrees in Georgia. I was like, what is happening? Why me? Sorry, I'm checking the chat. It's been a minute. Stockholm Syndrome Larson. I agree with you, Space Vibes, for sure. Okay. A lot of love in the chat for the MAGA hat. I do appreciate you. What part of Connecticut you lived in? I lived in New Haven, Connecticut. Good spot. Really good spot. I had a bunch of friends in Greenwich. I didn't spend much time in Hartford. I didn't spend much time in Bridgeport. But I really like New Haven, and I really like Greenwich. There is I do agree with Joe Rogan when he says that Connecticut is just a highway between Boston and New York. That is accurate, but there is A lot of good places in Connecticut. Shout out to Milford, Connecticut in the house. Hey, that's awesome. Desert Crypto, Ondo or Phantom? Why you gotta do that to me, bro? Ondo or Phantom? Question mark. Both. Diversify. That that's my answer, man. Like, I'm serious. Like, Ondo has RWA narrative, but also Ondo also has really bad tokenomics, and that does kind of scare me. But I think Phantom's much more established. Phantom has a lot more, wins by experience. So it's probably going to be a close one, to be honest. I want to lean towards Ondo, but the tokenomics part does freak me out, and I hold both. So, Connecticut people are a bit strange, in my opinion. Well, I think in all fairness, JC, I think people are a bit strange, period. People are delusional, bro. Oh, yeah. Forgot about these two stories. I'll do a couple charts, then I got to run. Tesla's massive Bitcoin move sparks fears of sell-off. Tesla unexpected transfer of 760 million in Bitcoin to unknown wallets has raised concerns of a potential sell-off, leaving the crypto community on edge. Man, I hope that's not the case. Just because they transfer something doesn't guarantee it's going to sell it. The nature of Tesla's transaction has left many wondering why this signals an imminent sell, or if it's a part of a strategic maneuver. That's the thing. We don't know. 760, 760 million. That's not like crazy. I mean, I do kind of find it funny when people freak out over like, oh, they're selling $1 billion. I'm like, bro, Bitcoin's 1.3 trillion market cap. Does it really matter if Tesla sells 760 million of Bitcoin? Guys, the market cap for Bitcoin is $1.3 trillion. It's like, as much as I want to give more stock to stories like this, and it even says in the story, the real significance of Tesla's Bitcoin transfer is still unknown. Okay, well, even if they sell it, who gives a shit? It's less than $1 billion. The market cap is 1.3 trillion. Do you know how much a trillion is? Like, it's not that big of a deal. Don't get too caught up in stories like that. And this is the last story for today. Trump endorsed WLFI token, raises $5 million despite technical issues. Basically, what I've gathered from this, World Liberty Financial, a new DeFi token endorsed by Donald Trump. It raised $5 million in the first hour, but basically there was the stress test failed and the website shut down. They wanted to raise more money than they did, but the website crashed. Was essentially what the website went down, and the transaction data showed problems with continuing sales. These technical challenges, coupled with Trump's lack of presence during the launch, raised concerns about the project's future and ability to deliver on its promise. So that is unfortunate that happened. I mean, I don't really know how I feel about this project. Like, I'm not sold. I'm not really a pre-sale kind of guy either. I never have been. I'm a day trader. I have an edge on the market. So why do I need to throw darts and hope I hit a bullseye? I'm not really sure how I feel about the project as a whole, or how much Trump even really knows about it or really cares about it. I don't really know. But I'm going to stay away from this one for now, and until we have more information, until there's established liquidity, until it hits exchanges, until we can paint a story here. I'm not just going to buy it because Trump's doing it. No, I'm not doing that. So there's that. Exactly. Desert Crypto. I'm glad I passed on the public sale. I think I missed a bullet. Well, even if you tried to get into the public sale, were you able to buy it? You know what I mean? So there's that. And Desert Crypto says, but why split your Bitcoin into wallets just to sell it? Why wouldn't you just sell it? I don't know. And that's what they said in the argument, that it could be a strategic narrative. They could be doing something strategic. It doesn't have to be a sale. or maybe they're going to pump some alts. I think that's an Farky Fark in the chat. Tesla's about to pump some alts. Hey, that could be it. Bitcoin, to be fair, is at the top of the bull flag. I do want to make a transition here back to technical analysis for maybe 5-10 minutes here. And we talked about this earlier in the show, guys, that Bitcoin is at the top of the bull flag. All right, this could, if we're going off what we've seen here. All right, look at what happens. We get here, we get rejected, and look at where we are again, guys. Look at where we are. All right. Oh, I actually wanted that line there. That was my 12-minute line right here. We very easily could. I'm not saying that, but I would at least like to hold the wedge. All right, but we very easily could be getting rejected right now. They might be onto that and be saying, hey, Bitcoin's 68,000. Maybe we should sell and pump some alts. And, that would even align, to be honest, if, let me pull a fresh trading view up here. Bitcoin dominance. All right, boom. I mean, that would make, guys, Bitcoin dominance is still moving up. We're talking 68.94%. When Benjamin Cowan said 60%, a lot of people didn't want to give him credit. I've been giving him credit since it went to 57, 58%. I think, even if it stops at 59, damn, that was a close call. It could still go to 60%. And guys, look at this. Look at Bitcoin dominance. Broadening, ascending channel that started bottom of November 22. We were talking 39% Bitcoin dominance to right now 58.94 Bitcoin dominance. So this is the percentage of the market cap of the total chart that is Bitcoin. All right. So right now, Bitcoin constitutes of 59.94% of all the money in crypto, period. All right. Bitcoin's running the show right now, guys. Bitcoin is running the show. And it has continued to put in higher lows, higher highs, is going that way. All right. And for alts to run, for the altcoin bull run, we are going to want to see this thing break down this way, that way, so alts can run. All right. But right now, Bitcoin is running the show. But, could we be at a local top? It's possible. It is possible. I did point out a couple things on the 2-hour chart on Bitcoin. There's nothing really too telling on the oscillator here. I mean, this one's still on its way up. If you wanted to point out the fact that, we're talking from, here to here, the price has gone up, the level has gone up, and this is forming a divergence. If this new momentum wave is smaller than this one here, that would be the third, big impulse of divergence there. That could be, the writing on the wall, maybe. But, what we will want to monitor here is previous levels. Is you always want to be set alarms on where you were, because just like this level right here. Oops, let me come back to here. Just like this level right here. Look, we came up, we get rejected, we break out, we get rejected, we break out, and then we bounce off of it and go. This is the market telling you what to do right there. Don't miss those moves. All right. And then, this line was actually from last night from the previous high, which has gone off again. And this thing is still climbing. Bitcoin is probably, let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on here. Because remember, we have the bull flag itself, and then we have this new fresh uptrend. Yeah, Bitcoin's cruising right in between. And like I said, guys, the point of intersection right around here is, tomorrow, very early tomorrow morning, East Coast time, 3:30, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, we will see Bitcoin either break through the bull flag, or we will see Bitcoin lose this local uptrend, react to the market. All right, very big deal. I did want to keep a pulse on the avalanche trade I gave you in 4 charts, 4 minutes last week. It is still in this, kind of ascending triangle. Measured move would take us up to $44, almost $45, but it has flopped and groped in here. All right. And it has put in a lower high, which is not the best, not what we want to see. But as long as Avalanche respects this uptrend, we're good. We lose this downtrend, we start shorting everything. Optimism is in a very similar situation as Avalanche. I do feel that both of these coins could eventually break out, but they both have gotten rejected and put in lower highs in the past little while here. That does not mean that they are breaking down. All right. It could easily go bip, 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 bip. No problem. All right. And that's why we don't guess. We react to the loss of structure or to the break of support resistance. All right. This level on optimism you want to alarm is at $1.95. And then just make this connection when you draw this uptrend here. And then back to Avalanche, that alarm here you want to set is at $30.75 right here. And then draw this line for the uptrend to get that, that ascending triangle here. And basically for ascending triangles, where we get this measured move from is that you get this measurement here like this, and then you just pull it up to the support resistance level like that. Maybe not as cut and dry as Head and Shoulders cup and handled measured moves, but that is still, foundationally sound TA in terms of ascending on how to approach the breakouts of an ascending triangle. Even Brett, guys, we talked about Brett on 4 charts, 4 minutes. I like revisiting the charts I gave everyone publicly because these are the things we need to revisit and to follow up on. All right. And look at this. So Brett broke out of this downtrend. Good to see that. To be fair, from that breakout to here, 23% move in 2 days. Congratulations to anybody who caught that move because I did give you this move before it broke out, to be fair. And we also noticed this support resistance line. We got this rejection, breakout. But now look where the price is, ladies and gentlemen. It is fighting at that level as we speak. If we're looking at the daily chart here, to be fair, all right, we got the higher high with the lower high. The oscillator is diverging from the momentum of the price action. Bearish divergence, daily chart. We are still in the green in the money flow. We are coming down. We did just print a green dot on the daily. We are coming, kind of down in the VWAP, but it is dancing. We zoom into, say, a 2 hour. We are actually literally on this line as we speak. We did print a red dot on the 2 hour as well as the daily, and we have closed that last candle below the 50 EMA on the 2 hour, but we are still at this level. I think what I would, maybe if you wanted to even go from this little low right here, give a little bit to take a little bit at 0.101. Maybe that could be your short, but it is trying to fight on the 2 hour, and hell, on the 12 minute, it's actually trying to fight back. And that's why I would think this alarm is really important because it came up and put in a slightly higher low. All right, like this. So and right now it's actually a little tiny bit below that. So, I would kind of draw a line in the sand between this line that we've talked about so much and this low here if you wanted to react to that move. I wouldn't get too caught up on this one. I think Brett does have if you can get good liquidity. What is the liquidity on Brett right now for the record? I don't think I have my PHEMEX pulled up. Contracts, perpetual. Reef picked up. Wow, Reef is down 47%. What the hell? And it has 12.2 million in volume. I'm just going to read it off by volume. After Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, BNB, XRP. So SWI is the altcoin with the most volume. Then Doge behind that. Then Reef. Then Link. Pepe, Whiff, Aptos, Storage, waking up, Popcat, Phantom. Yeah, so Brett isn't really killing it when it comes to leverage. It did have a lot more on it did have a lot more leverage volume in the weeks past, but it is back to 3.5 million on PHEMEX now. And of course, sign up for PHEMEX down below if you haven't already. But guys, I want to know what happened to Reef. I don't hold it, but damn. All right. So that's Bitcoin dominance. We covered that pretty good. And we covered Brett as well. And then guys, FET, here's your alarm. This one, 155. It's at 142. And then, the last low, also very important at 126. That is a big range. But if you kind of set a pick between 155 and 126, there are more levels in there. But broad strokes, I would say that's a sell and that's a long. I did want to cover that one too. I don't have time to really go into it, so I just left it on the surface there. Reef, what the hell just happened? Reef. Oh man. Oh my God. I forget who was telling me about this project. I am glad I never bought it. That is gnarly. What? I did not see this. I missed this. I mean, it's been happening for a little while now. It's not like that sudden. About a day. 80% in a day. Guys, what happened? What happened? Let me know in the chat if you know what happened there. Oh, I got a super chat. Hold on. What was it? Alexandra Alexopopoulos. All right. Well, shout out RIP Reef, man. I never bought it, but it sucks to see that happen. Are you still confident on quant? This is a question I've answered on the show time and time again. And I will answer it again right now. And thanks for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. I like quant fundamentally. I think on the surface, it's a really good project. It has great tokenomics. And when I really got into tokenomics in my HN days, it seemed very attractive to me. And at the time, the team was pushing. There was a lot of progress being made. They were kind of aligned with the right partners. They had a lot going for them. Since then, since those days before I started my own YouTube channel, Quant's marketing team has no idea. They are not doing their job. And I've actually had people reach out and say, actually, they spoke at this computer development conference in Germany. And I'm like, okay, like, does anyone in the real world see a Quant poster? Does anyone in the real world like go to a UFC fight and see their name on the octagon? Are there any commercials during sports? Are they doing media pushes on Twitter? Like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And it's just one of those deals where I, as someone who does media, who understands marketing, who does this for a living, I would like to see the team try harder. Try hard. Like, did they make their money? Is that what happened? Because listen, guys, let's get this very clear. There are some projects from last bull run where the founders have made their money. They don't care. Some of the stuff is just for looks. They just want to look pretty. I promise we're still working, guys. Come on, guys. We're still working. And man, it's just like, it just bums me out, to be honest, dude. It does. It really does. And it shows, man. Like, Quant was one that it would really hold that dollar mark. All right. And like, this right here is kind of the story of Quant, man, because here's 24. All right. And here is the run up early 24. Obviously, we were all over this chart. We hit this one hard, and I believe that the big buy at $1.14. I remember buying Quant around like 85, 87 even, back in September. So from this low here at $83, it moved 76% in 161 days. Or even this pump here, we're talking 47% in 52 days. That's not bad, but like Algorand and H-bar pumped way harder than Quant. Then Jasmine and Sui pumped way harder than them. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, are they taking a really long-term approach here? I mean, that would be okay. But guys, like, even Algorand hasn't bled this much. H-bar hasn't bled this much. This thing is like, because like Quant's baseline, let me say this very clearly. Quant's baseline was $100. That is right. Let me try to measure it good. Right here. All right. Because basically for a long time, anytime it was above 100, which it was, I mean, for a lot of 2023, Quant was above $100. And this is a project that has had the same tokenomics this whole time. This whole time has had the same tokenomics. All right. And to be fair, anytime it would get to 100, it would bounce back up. It would get below 100, bounce up, come up to 145, back to 100, back to 100, back up to 145. And the $100 level was a magnet for quant. I mean, I hope it still is, right? I mean, look at the curvature of this money flow. Like this is pretty bloody, fam. Like look at this. Hopefully this is the end. It didn't put in bear market lows, but this right here, guys, is the bear market low for quant. All right. And how far is it really above it? 66%. That's not much from the bear market low. Go measure how far Solana is from its bear market low. You know what I mean? Like this isn't what we want to see. A big support resistance level for quant to reclaim is at $83 because this was this low here and this low here, and it bounced here as well. All right, so that's actually 83, excuse me. Let's call it 84.7. 84.7. I would say that if it reclaims that level, that would be a place where I would be comfortable maybe getting more, but as it's just kind of flopping and groping below, it's hard to, really be confident right now, right here, that it's not looking pretty. Even the setup itself, I mean, if you want to draw from the wick up, maybe you don't want to lose that uptrend. Maybe you can make an argument that it's forming, a new little uptrend like this, but the angle of that isn't extremely sharp to start with. This would be an example of when we'd want to see it hold this and break this up. And I don't know, man. It's not looking pretty. It's just a bummer for a lot of people. And I was very big on this project as it was tokenomics, man, so pretty. The tokenomics were fun to look at, but there has been I've been very vocal this year, specifically during 2024, that I have lost confidence in quant like I have other coins. And look, the point of control, where's it at? Where's that point of control? At $1.01, $101. $101. And I would like to see, hey, maybe it can creep up. Like I said, big alarm at 84.7, big alarm at 100, local high is at 79.5. 79.5. Those are certainly some things you'd want to consider with quant. And even if you go from the swing low to 2023 high, look how weak this is, so far beyond the 76. Even if you go it from the 2024 high, it's still all the way down here. Just fundamentally speaking, based off technical analysis, I am bummed for quant, and I think it's a complete reflection of their effort marketing. I still hold a good amount of quant on Coinbase. I sold some of it kind of on the way down, and I believe I sold some in March around 130 or something like that. I certainly took some profits on quant, but I still have some. And I would like to see it turn around. But guys, it's when a project isn't really pushing, it's hard to follow. It's hard to get excited. They're not doing their jobs. They're not doing their jobs. And it's a shame because fundamentally it's a sound project. Quant has less coins in its circulating supply than Bitcoin. It could be a winner, but they threw their hands in the air a long time ago. I mean, hopefully it gets back to 100. It did have life this year. It did, to be fair, it did pump a little bit this year. Nothing crazy, but from February this year to that little high there, 55% in 56 days. That's not bad. It's not great compared to what other projects did. It was certainly a waste of a pick, and I am certainly bummed that I talked about it. But hey, you're not going to be right about every coin. You're not going to be right about every coin. And that, anytime you talk about a coin, you would assume that the team behind the coin would do its job. And I can't call quant and be like, hey, quant, why don't you try harder, you fucking dumbass? You know what I mean? I'm not going to do a new price prediction for quant because this is all I'm going to talk about them. I'm not going to be the one person waving the flag for a falling project. If they wake up and start doing a push, maybe I'll wake up too, but I'm not the one that's going to step out and wave the flag for them. Absolutely not. No way. I don't know about Ben. I haven't talked to him today. I don't know. Yeah, but David, the difference between algo and quant, there's an ocean between algo and quant. And let's be completely honest. All right, let's look at quant's chart, which we just broke down here. And let's look at Algorand's chart. All right. I see your point, but Algorand had a much more volatile year from the bounce down in February to that high. It went 120% in 48 days. Quant did what, 55%? It doubled Quant's move. Algorand, although it is still above and also look at the structure. Algorand's way above that low. And I would obviously Algorand needs to get above 14, 16 cents. That 16 cent level has always been the deal breaker for Algorand. And, it does kind of have this little baby uptrend here. Would like to see that respected and would really like to see it get above, 14, 15, 16 cents. Like I said, 16 cents is the level for Algorand. It hasn't had the best year, but Algorand, one, spends a lot of money marketing. They spend a lot of money being active. You can't say that they're not making a big effort compared to the effort Quant has made. And also when it comes to volatility, Algorand blew the doors off of Quant from, the October push to here, or even the October push. It pumped 280% in 147 days. Quant didn't do that. Algorand is way, way stronger than Quant fundamentally and technically and socially. So there's that. Oh yeah, I mean everything needs to wake up some, but dude, the point you guys are missing here is that SWI and BitTensor are the exception, not the rule. Look at Avalanche, way below its 24 high. Optimism, FET, Algorand, HBAR, VeChain, The Graph, all of these coins, except for SWI and BitTensor. Those are really the two that separated themselves from the pack, and they are the exception, not the rule. So it's really not at the fault for any team. Do you know why? Do you know why it's really no one's fault? Do you know who's at fault here? Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is 0.07 below 59%. Bitcoin is running the motherfucking show, guys. It's not up to any marketing team or Bitcoin's running the show. I will tip my hat to BitTensor and SWI. They have separated themselves and they will continue to do so. But as long as Bitcoin is running the show and dominance is still rising and dominance doesn't roll over eventually, it's going to be like that. This requires a lot of patience, and I mean a lot of patience. So there you go. Got over 200 people watching on YouTube, over 350 people watching on Twitter. Man, you guys are so awesome. You really made me feel better today. I've been going through it a little bit, but I will talk about it when I can talk about it. But I actually got to roll out today. I will be posting a really good interview talking about, the health of Web3 gaming and a project, Ascent Rivals. It's not a sponsored video or anything like that. Just doing a favor for a friend and having a conversation about crypto. So make sure you definitely check out that video. Have been working on some more content. I kind of got hit with a really big curveball, like a life curveball that I haven't talked about yet. It has kind of messed up my content schedule, but like your life and your family and the people you love are more important than posting videos on YouTube. I am a very real human. Yes, this year has been my most successful year ever. I have been, I've been very vocal lately about my financial transition that I have made this year. I think, buying the Cybertruck publicly and saying some things publicly has been, it's something I haven't done before. All right. And I, as much as I am happy about the financial success, for me, I really want to now use what I've made, use what I've built to build a platform for as many people to learn about crypto as I can. I can't keep what I have unless I give it away. Seeing you guys succeed in the Telegram group, seeing you guys succeed in the chat, that's what matters to me. For me, like before, with me, it was about survival. Now we're way past just surviving. We're not taking profits, we're enjoying them, and that's good. But I also made the money I made this year in not really the best market conditions. So that says a lot about what can happen if you believe in yourself, with trading, with making yourself a branding yourself. There's a lot to be said there. I'm sure I will make videos kind of talking about not just becoming successful, but how to handle success and how to be mature about it. It's easy making $1 million. Keeping it's another problem. So guys, get rich or get wrecked. Have a safe rest of your day. Smash the like button. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Seriously, I agree with Mike Lowry in the chat. YouTube viewers are the real MVPs. That is 100% the case. Big shout out to all the positive people in my chat. David Brumbelow, really appreciate the kind words, man. You guys make the difference for me every day. It means the world to me that the same people watch the show all the time. You guys, the core audience, the real groggers that are here every day, man. Thank you. I don't even, there's not even words that can explain how grateful I am for this community. If it wasn't for you guys, man, I wouldn't be doing this. So thank you guys. I mean that. Love you guys. Safe rest of your day. Get rich or get wrecked. Smash the likes on your way out the door. It really helps the channel. Appreciate it. Peace.